Hey everybody, I hope you're all having a great day so far. And yeah, looking forward to the weekend. Yeah, my Fridays actually have gone pretty good. I am a little late because my computer decided to crash right as I was about to start streaming, so I do apologize for that. But that's okay. Let's just not let it affect my mood for programming, that's for sure. But so yesterday we were working on the hidden information and we finished that, and so now I'm going to try to update all the systems surrounding these get action scripts for abilities. We're going to need to update the animation system, audio system, and then just the action list itself. I don't think any of them will be that difficult. But yeah, let's get started. So first of all, I'm going to... This class will be what actually calls these get action. So let me see. So I'm going to need to wait until the phase changes to start calling them. Speaking about that, I guess I'm going to need state so I can know if I should be active or not. So let's see. What did I call it? This. Okay, just state. That's fine. Oops. Alright, so let's see. If phase equals generate actions, that means that it's our turn to run. So what I should do... I want to have one of these scripts running at a time, because we got to implement them in order so that the action lists and animations are also generated in order. So yeah, we can only run one at a time. Another thing I should do, I guess while I'm here, void clear. I want to make sure that if we ever dispose, that this script is also disposed. Oops, that should be does not equal. And so I should also override our dispose method. And then if we exit to a phase that we shouldn't be running, we should also clear that script just in case. Okay, so another thing I'll need is, I guess, our current position in the selection sequence. So index. Okay, let's need to set it to 0 there, and then I guess I guess I should start at -1. I don't know. Okay, actually, no, let's start at 0. Okay, actually. Okay, yeah, so I think we'll just assume that it's on the index that we want to run next. So let's see, let's just rename this to next selection index. Okay, so if this is already greater than or equal to the list, then we're done. So I can just queue the complete event, which I need to set up, but oh yeah, I need to forgot the return type there, which is void. But okay, so here we can actually start the next one. I guess I should also just clear running to make sure that we already disposed of that. So what I need to do is get the next script. Is Lua caller call, and okay, yeah, so I can just pass the turn selection. And then I can start it and increment this. Okay, so now I'm just gonna need to check when that is done. So if running is okay, well first I need to check if I'm in the correct state. Yeah, because running could be null and that would cause an error. Then if running is complete. Okay, and then we need to see if there's any error. So if running dot error type is none, then we can, I guess, so I don't really have to do anything else here. I think I can just, I'll run for selection. Otherwise, I'll need to throw exception event. Okay, which I forget what the name is called. exception equals new. Okay, and do I have a type here? No, so I guess this will just be get actions script error. And then we can just pass the error type here and the error message. Oh, yeah, and this should be, oops, pressed the wrong key there. Should be the comma. All right. Oh, I don't want to do this right. I guess I must have started debugging by accident. Alright, and so after we throw that, we should also clear running. We can go ahead and dispose of that. Okay, so that's pretty simple. So yeah, this just calls the scripts. There's going to be something else that, well, that's a good point. Well, I guess we'll figure it out. Yeah, somehow I need to deposit any of these actions into some action sequence. So yeah, I'm not sure exactly what class will do that, but figure that out as time comes. Maybe I should do that first and then animations. I don't know. Okay, but right now I used to have this actions class and I don't really want to use this anymore. Instead, I want to move this kind of function into that's nothing actually uses that. Yeah, I said I want to move these functions into the actual monster class. So let me see. I don't have to do any networking for now. Trying to find the class, the old class that handled this. Oh yeah, here it should be in here. So it'd be the Lua move function handler. Okay, so let's uncomment this and I can just move a bunch of this code somewhere else. Okay, so yeah, this, oh wait, so what's this manager, action manager, okay. All right, so what this will do, so we think, okay, so this actually needs to be part of the what am I trying to say? Yeah, the Lua interface, and then there'll be some other class in action sequencing that would like get a list from here. Okay, so maybe let's see. I already have this action list, so maybe we can just reuse this. Oh yeah, so I do need to keep do I need to keep two separate things? Because what I could do is just, this would have like a list of game actions, and then the ability sequencing would just copy them into the final list once all scripts have run. So I don't know if I need to keep a separate one like this. Okay, and yeah, I want to hide this from... Oh yeah, well this is actually isn't a... what am I trying to say? Actually isn't a Moonsharp class, so we don't have to worry about hiding anything from Moonsharp. Okay, so let's say script actions. Okay, and then this would just get a reference to this class. And then back here, let's clear out some of this, these unneeded tabs. There's a lot more than I thought. I guess I should have just done clear all but this, but I didn't really want to have to search and find these two classes again. Okay, so what I'll do here is I guess I'll need a reference to the sequence actions, and then also a reference to the script actions. Okay, and so what'll happen here is at the beginning when we start this, I'll clear both of them. So actions. And then at the end here, when we're done, I'll just copy the list from the script actions. What's it? Okay, they're not the same. Okay, well, let me see. Then I need to... Okay, well, I'll just need to translate them. That's not a huge deal. Okay, so let's just copy actions. Okay, so for each Lua action in script action sequence, first I'll need to create game action. And I think I can pretty much just copy the Lua action. Oops. Active player is Lua action. Oh, does it not have the player? Okay, well let's wait to do this. So I won't forget, I'll just throw new not implemented exception. But anyway, so we have an idea of what's going to go on here. Okay, so what we're doing here is we want to loop backwards through these actions and find the most recent one. Why do I do it like that, actually? Okay, how is this? Well, it's probably not used. But because, like in the scripts, say for example, I wanted to get the monster's position after I called this do move. Well, the monster wouldn't have actually moved in the game yet, because we're just kind of queuing the actions up and not actually executing them yet. But in the eyes of the script, it should see the monster as already moved. So I need to look in the script through all actions that have been queued and then update the position correctly. So that's kind of what this is doing, but I'm trying to figure out why don't I just use the latest one instead. Oh, because, yeah, when it loops through it, I have to make sure that it actually refers to a specific monster or whatever. Okay, so yeah, this is fine. Okay, so I guess I could make this private, actually. I need to know the script state. Actually, I don't think this class will deal with that. Maybe, I don't know. Okay, so what would be state is action disabled, and oh no, it'd be if action logging is disabled. Because if action logging is... Okay, well this is like backwards actually. Yeah, if we don't have to do action logging, then we don't need to... Wait, I'm confused now. Would there ever be a time that we wouldn't log actions, I wonder? I don't really know what this is for. Oh, I see. It's basically looking that if action logging is not active, then we wouldn't have to look through previous. Oh yeah, and so yeah, we mostly need this for the animation and the audio system, because then they would know not to play the animation immediately. Okay. Trying to remember that. But this class doesn't care about it because action logging should always be active whenever actions are active. In fact, maybe I don't need both options. It's just if we allow adding actions, then everything should be queued. I'll just leave it separate in case I ever change that, I guess. But right now, whenever actions are enabled, we'd also always log animations. Okay, I'm just gonna clean that up. So really all I have to do is just add that action to the sequence. Okay, so I used to have... I guess I already deleted it. I used to have a class just called Action Logger, which is kind of what I want to rename this to. Okay, so now we can update the monster just to add that do move function. And yeah, here is the part where we were supposed to look through the list. This monster class has a lot of dependencies, but that's okay. Okay, so yeah, here... Yeah, we just loop through them, and then if we see that the active monster is this specific monster, then we would return the position from that action instead of the position from the database. Same thing with this one. Oh, so I don't have a reference to the facing factory already, so I'll need to get that too. Probably the monster class will be one of the biggest objects, just because there's so many facets having to do with monsters, but I don't really think there's any issue with this because everything is still very cohesive. It's all about one specific object. Okay, so let's add the action classes down at the bottom. So do move, and we take board position. Let's see, what can I might be able to just copy this. Okay, so for that I can just use script manager. Or let's just do is... Okay, well this is wrong, we're not doing animations, but... Okay, let's just, I guess for a helper, let's just call is valid time to call, and this will just be return is action disabled. Oh wait, let's just call this is disabled. Okay, so we're actually creating a game action and not a Lua action here. But I'd rather just create a Lua action, I think. Okay, so one thing I need to add here is something about the player. Oh, should be active player. Okay, and yeah, I mean, our Lua should not be able to set to this value, so I should change that to mean sharp hidden. Okay, so let's rename this to just action instead of game action. What's it not like about that? Okay, and so the active player, I guess I'll need to get the player factory. I think I already have that. Okay, well I can just use this function, the owner player function. Okay, and then this is checking that the passed in monster was valid, but we don't really have to do that because we are the monster, so we already know it's that we are valid. And then this is checking to make sure that the position is valid, which I should probably do before I actually create the object. Not that it matters a whole lot. I guess... Okay, I can just use this that was passed through. Okay. Okay, we actually do want to return the game action. That's relatively simple. I don't think I have really any loose ends. So yeah, basically I don't even need this Lua move function handler or the action manager. Yeah, so I'll remember, I'll just tag this as system obsolete. And just leave this commented and I'll tag it as obsolete. Probably something similar here. And so later I'll come back and delete these files, but just in case I see I need some logic from it. Okay, so the other thing I need to do here is there's a set facing action. Okay, so really it's pretty much the same as before. Don't need any of this testing of the monster. I don't really do any validation on the facings index, but I guess that's because the facing couldn't exist unless it was fine. Oh, yeah, I don't want to create a new one. Okay, so yeah, that was actually pretty simple. So yeah, we add the action here, and then later on this action generator will copy the list from the scripts once everything has been ran. Okay, so what I need to do now is... I can't do something this simple because I have to switch based on the type. Okay, so we'll switch the Lua action system type. I guess we could pretty much set the active player no matter what, because yeah, all actions will be associated with some player, I think. Okay, and then we'll also need to have the target index, so we also need to set the type. Okay, and then this is just the board index of this, so hexagon position. Oh wait, is there another way to do this? Target position. Okay, so now I need to pass the board, which I don't have a reference to yet. Alright, and now for facing, it's similar. Okay, and the target index is just the integer value of the facing. So yeah, I just need to cast that to an integer because I think this is an enumeration. Okay, and I guess if, yeah, so something else, we would need to throw an error, but I guess we should deal with exceptions. I don't really know if I'll ever have one, but so sequencing exception. Okay, yeah, so if there's an error, we'll just add it to the queue. So I guess here we would have one for... Okay, the names for these are a little confusing, but we would have one for get actions, unknown type. I don't think I really need to do any validation here because the Lua interface, we can trust it to have already validated everything. Okay, and then of course one thing I need to do is add this new action I just created to the action list. Alright. So I think that's actually it for the action sequence, which was a little simpler than I thought. Okay, so let's jump to animations. So most of the animations are handled. There's this, and then also what's it? The map object class has a bunch of animations for like setting a flag on a model, or yeah, moving and rotating. But there's actually no errors here, except I need to get rid of this game link thing. So I guess before I go any further, I should probably initialize these. Oh yeah, I need to do this stuff. Actually, I can just get rid of this whole class, can't I? But I do need to set up this action logger, which would go into the. Would it go in here in the Lua interface? Yeah, I guess it would. It just needs a script state and then the script actions. But the script actions should actually go in the global context for the entire game because the game, or during the play phase, it's needed. So Lua interface, script actions. And then I guess that's all I have to do there. For animations, first I need to probably move some things out of the map into the Lua interface. But actually, animations would never play anywhere except in the map, so maybe I could just leave it. Okay, one cool thing is that this whole class is not needed anymore because I can just use events. Let's just set this as obsolete. Yeah, I guess I was starting to feel how clunky this message system works because I created a whole separate class that just deals with these. Okay, so let's update this. Alright, so yeah, so basically this just has a sequence of animations just like the actions, but we want to keep them separate because the animations aren't sent to the server. I'm just trying to see, I guess this timer would need to go. Yeah, I'm trying to decide which of this needs to stay in the map namespace and what needs to go somewhere else. Yeah, I don't need that class anymore. Okay, and then this should just be an I event. Because we'll just fire these over the event queue. Oh, I already updated these. Okay, so what does this class do? I guess it checks to see... Oh yeah, when animations finish. Because it has this like... Oh, animations that are running or not. Oh right, I remember. Because for every animation there's like an integer tag. Okay, and so this is like keeping track of which animations are playing and not. Okay, so at the very least the timers... Well, actually, why would you need a timer outside of the map phase? Because the only script like that run outside the map phase are map generation and like on load functions. So yeah, there's not any reason really to make this stuff available during those scripts, I don't think, because like there's no reason for a timer there. Okay, I guess the only thing is that the Lua container and all these objects in here would need to get a reference to at least the script manager. Now that I look in here, it doesn't actually use anything in the map itself. It just like sends events out. So it could be okay maybe to just move this all in here. Okay, this is obsolete. Well, let's start, I think, with the actual Lua classes, and then I'll see like what needs to do what. I think most of them are already pretty much updated, to be honest, but because I wrote these after I got rid of some of the those delegate systems I used to use. So yeah, this animation script is just a script manager, which... Okay, so yeah, at least the script manager needs to be accessible from here. Alright, so let's clean that up. Guess maybe I should move the animation sequence as well. I know I spent too long trying to decide on these like script organization things, but I don't know, I feel like it helps prevent bugs later on. Okay, well, I guess... What animations will just be a global thing, so yeah, we'll just move that in here. guess it is. It's just storing commands from Lua, so it's not that big of a deal. Okay, next. Yeah, so yeah, every animation has like this index key, and that's how we can tell what animations are playing. I can get rid of this stuff. Okay, so we're gonna have to re-implement getting these properties. And animation complete. I don't need that. Just clean this up. Okay, so this will need the event system, so flow container will parent from that. Okay, so this database, this sequence. Oh, I named that wrong. Hey, Hoppy Gamer. How many lines of code? Oh, I probably should count how many lines of code I do have in this whole project, but a lot. Because yeah, I have a whole bunch of... This project's gotten pretty big, actually. What language is this? C#. But how are you doing today? Glad to see ya. I can get rid of all that. Is in logging state. This is just kind of a helper class. I don't know if I need to provide that actually. Okay, well this is commented out already, and so is this get model ID. Did anything use it still? No. Okay, well I'll just delete those, and if I need them later. How's the game coming along? Pretty well. Right now I'm just kind of going back and cleaning some messy scripts that I made earlier. Updating it to a new event system that's way better. And adding some functionality along the way. Deciding on what you want to do. Computer science, finance, or accountant. Yeah, well I didn't know what I wanted to do for a long time either, so I don't know, it just kind of clicked after a while. Okay, get audio ID. This is all fine. I don't have to... Okay, so audio exists query. This is what I need to update. Down here. How do I want to do this actually? Because most of the stuff is still... Okay, well I do need to update it a bit. Yeah, the animations are just... There's a lot going on. Group matcher. Okay, well, that's just a helper class. Okay, so this is what implemented these queries. Okay, so what was I looking for at the beginning? An audio exists on model. Okay, and it was... This whole class isn't updated. So all this stuff is in the map. I guess kind of makes sense, but it's actually going to need to be available earlier. Unless this animation script manager just calls some other class that's only active on the map, which Maybe that's a better way to do it. Oh yeah, that's it's called stream avatars. I think it adds a lot of fun to the stream. There's a little extension window down below my stream where you can actually change your little character. Okay, so I think what I want to do, yeah, this class will be available to Lua, but there's another class that should only be active during the map, I think. Let me see, what do I want to call it? I guess... okay, first off, I guess if I do that... the script manager would have to be provided with a link to whatever class I'm going to make, so... okay. Let's call this, I don't know, animation state. Oh no, let's just call it the animation manager. Customize your avatar. Oh yeah, you can do that as well. I forgot about that little command. Okay, so this will basically have this information, are these kind of scripts that wouldn't really be available during the loading phase. Well, now that I think about it, am I making things too complicated here? So what this is really doing is it's trying to see if an audio exists on a specific model. But the models... so actually that would happen before the... because that happens during loading too. But I guess these classes aren't instantiated before loading, so... okay. Yeah, I think this will be okay. I mean, you wouldn't want to play an audio when you're outside the map anyway. But anyway, so we need to be able to see if audio exists. I actually don't really know if I need the events in this class. Okay, so basically, let's see, this property inspector, I need to be able to grab this class and check some of these. Oh, okay, I'm confused. That namespace doesn't make any sense to me. Okay. Not playing nice. Okay, so Tactical Lizard Tamer. Game logic. Map. Do X. Okay, there we go. Okay, so global audio registry. I need to get a reference to that. Let's clean this up. Ooh. Event queue. Oops. Oh right, I'm not using my own event queue. Oops, I deleted the wrong thing. Okay, so I need the game data and the map object. Gosh, I can't type. I also forgot the variable name here. And the global audio. All right. I guess probably I could have just generated this constructor so I don't have to make or type this all out myself, but oh right, and this doesn't need the event system actually. What's it complaining about? Inconsistent. Okay, fine, whatever. Okay, so check sound exists. Do I want this? No, I don't really need it. So map, object ID, and string audio tag. So yeah, this just checks. But I turned off lyrics. Okay, and so yeah, this checks to see for whatever model if it has an audio with a specific name on it, as defined by the mods. Okay, and then get property. Yeah, this actually does return a lot of values, so I guess I'll still use that, but I don't know if I need to have the specific arguments thing. Alright, so let's just clean this up. Okay, so what this does, it gets an audio source, either a global audio or on a specific model, and then it just tries to see what type of values are on it. Okay, so I think I'm happy with this. So now I can just grab this value. Okay, and the audio ID would be... Oops. What do I want to do? I want to get a reference to it here. Oh, except this is the wrong class. So it needs to go in this animation manager class actually. Although, okay, so the flow logic animations aren't supposed to have references to this UX, which I mean is kind of a artificial constraint, but okay, what do I want to do about that? Okay, well maybe I'll just lift that, because it doesn't really make sense to move this into a different namespace. Okay, so what I do here, we would just ask the animation manager. Okay, and the thing about this is that the animation manager might not always exist. Okay, so I need to be able to have a way to set it. Okay, let's rename this to, I don't know, like map manager. Okay, so also when this starts up, I should get reference to this animation script manager. Okay, and I guess, yeah, on this constructor, I need to set that to this. And yeah, it's a little, I don't really like doing things like this most of the time, but I can't really think of a better way to handle it. Not a huge deal. And the reason I have to do it is just because this animation manager only exists during the map phase, but anything doing with scripts or dealing with scripts needs to exist at all times in order for the script classes to get handles on this. So I think it should be fine. It's not that big of a deal. But anyway, so I need to call the map. Okay, so first I need to check to make sure if map manager is null. We should throw new script runtime exception. Audio not supported at this time, or at least, well, actually that's not true. It's only not supported here. Let's see, can only get audio on models during, let's see, when the map is loaded. Okay, so audio ID map manager, check audio. This. Okay, so yeah, then I'll get a reference to that. Okay, I should change this to map objects to be more precise. Okay, so now this would basically just query the audio inspector. Oh, except all of its classes are probably, or all of its functions are private right now. Okay, let's actually rename this to animation map link, because it's not really managing anything, it's just like linking between the scripts and the map phase. Okay, so back to this. That's all updated. Okay, and then here it needs to query more stuff about audio. Get audio source property or audio mixer. So yeah, don't really need this class, I don't think, because just 3 arguments. That's not too unwieldy. I guess, yeah, we'll just return that. Okay, and so we'll return, instead of querying something like that, we'll just use the map link again. Oh, yeah, and I need to pass that through. Object ID, audio ID, and type. Okay, and we can just generate that method for now. Okay, and so this is the same except it has audio mixer, property type, and name. Just making sure that that was those types were correct. Okay, so query audio mixer property, mixer ID, audio ID, and type. Oh, for some reason I was reading that method above. Okay. So this is just a helper, which is going to just set up a request. Let's rename this to just setup request. Okay, so this actually needs to know if we're in a logging state. Oh, I see. So if we're logging, then we just set up a wait handle within our own system to wait until the animation sequence has been played. Or that's not true. Actually, yeah, if we're logging, we don't actually wait for anything. So what? I'm not sure exactly what the point of this is. Maybe there's no point, it's just to return something. Let me see. So we have this animation wait handle. And so it just has like an index, but I don't know if it's ever used for anything. Okay, maybe for signals or something. Okay, so I guess I do need that is in logging state. So, okay, I can get the script state from here. No problem with that. So is animation logging active? Okay. Okay, so this is Oh, I see. So I need to get rid of that. That was just so that I wouldn't complain. Okay, so can this stay? What do I need to do here? Alright, so I need to get the script environment because I need to create a new dynamic value. So I guess I'll need the Lua container. Or is that? Oh no, the Lua environment. Okay, so yeah, that's it for that. Set animation weight. Okay, what was the deal with that? Okay, so now this is an asynchronous request, so I need to somehow tag it to the open calls. Let me see here. Yeah, so if we're not logging, then we just use our normal coroutine asynchronous tags. But I'm trying to remember, what does this event do? Probably it... I guess I should see. Probably has to do with this playing animations, so... Oh yeah, I bet it's this. It just adds something to here. But this... I don't really know if I need this to be a class. Or if it should just be a data object. Okay, I think... Instead of using events, I think things could just get a reference to this playing animations and add and remove things from here as they want. But yeah, the scripts won't have a handle on this right now because you can't play animations unless you're in the map phase, so I'll have to be in the map link. Maybe I'll just do this. So private, playing animations. And then maybe I'll just make this available. Okay, so map link, playing. Oh, everything is private because it used to be used by events. Okay, let's change the name of some of these. Instead of on animation register, we'll just call that register, and then is wait complete, that's fine. And then release. Okay, so then this is a yield request. Yeah, this is right. Yield request. Oh, okay, so actually I create the yield tag first. The order here is a bit strange, but Oh. Okay, so that's a Moon Sharp thing. Yeah, it's like, what's it called? Open, call, request. Alright, so I'm gonna need a reference to the open calls at the very least here. And I guess if that's true, I don't really need the script state thing. Public rule is logging active. I could just figure this out myself. Well, I don't know, it's not really no problem with having both. Technically, I don't need the script state, I could figure it out myself, but who cares really? Just have a extra little variable. Yeah, let's just rename this calls because that's how I've done it most of the time. Okay, so yeah, that's what this is doing. Calls.requests. Yes, this is open call request. Maybe, can't I clean this up? Okay. So, index equals index type is animation. I don't need a stat index, so the Lua tag is just animation, and the Lua response. All I do there, I think. Okay, so I don't have to worry about checking to make sure that this is not null because... Oh, actually, no, I do. Okay, so let's, if calls.running index is less than 0, then we'll want to, I guess, throw new script runtime exception. Cannot... Alright, let's see. Animations are disabled. I know that probably somewhere else has already checked this, but just to be sure. And so then we'll return the request Lua tag. Oh, I did that backwards. I need to put the object I want to change into a Lua variable in there, and then I need to pass the script here. Okay. Now that's done. So here we're finding... So it's kind of like before when I found actions, but I'm trying to find a command in the stored animations. And this is actually storing that for me. Okay, so I changed the name of this. So is... Oh, yeah, it's not a... I just checked the script state. So most of this, I don't think I'll need to update a whole lot, except these, because I removed the command. All I have to do is just throw an event. Because all of these commands are also events. Some of them are a little more complicated because they have some error checking and everything. Oh, that's a good point. The signal action. Do I need to... Probably the... I think I already deleted the actions class. But I think I need to, in monster, whenever I add an action, it should also just signal action. Probably the action logger can take care of that. And so animations, signal action, index, maybe... wait, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. That's not what that actually does. Well, nothing actually uses it. I bet it's count 1 by the index of the action. And I should probably check. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, because this just means an action is going to take place at this point in the animation sequence. So then we just let the action run and then we continue on with our animations. Okay, so what I need to do here is just do map link. And so all I have to do here is just events. Yeah, all these will queue immediately because anything that takes care of these commands, I want it to run this frame to make sure that they update, and they'll just be at the very end of the ticking queue. Okay, so this is taking care of arc movement. Okay, so oh no, there's still some errors. What's going on? I guess some of these, yeah, aren't an event yet. So I event. Okay, I need to update this class anyway. So okay, so it needs the playing animations. And it's a flow logic container, definitely, because this will need to... Okay, well, that's fine. This will need to have update, a tick function to update every frame. But I can get rid of this. So why do I have a special priority for timers, I wonder? Okay, I'll just leave it how it was. Now that I think about it, yeah, I'm gonna need to add a whole bunch of new classes, but that's okay. Alright, and so here when a timer is done, I can just call playing, release. That's it for that. Okay. What else is in here? Guess well, I'll just leave that. Yeah, these must have been the other ones that haven't been tagged as an event yet. Okay, so now all this is up to date. Okay, so I think there's some more stuff down here I need to do. Yeah, so this is gonna check to see if an animation is done waiting. Maybe I should test some stuff before I don't know. Okay, well this is just the wait handle release, so it needs the playing animations. Yeah, I think most of this stuff I'm not really gonna have to change any logic, so everything should just work. Hi Wonderful, thanks again for the host. Really do appreciate it. Today we're just working on some, well, updating the animation system to to use the new current event system that I've been doing for a while, but almost done with the whole game, I think. Well, not with the whole game, but we'll be back to where we were before I decided to change the events. How are you doing today? Oh yeah, it looks like the numbers recovered. Yeah, that's true. Last time, yeah, I'm not sure what was going on there. But Twitch has been kind of buggy lately, I've noticed. So, wouldn't be surprised if that had something to do about it. Alright, okay, so this is just dealing with a command. So what I can do here is just subscribe to that event. What do I call it? All events listener. Okay, so this class specifically is waiting for an animation to complete before it signals it's done. So really I don't need to change anything about this except change, well first I gotta listen to the event and then release that. Oops, wrong thing. And then I've gotta subscribe to the correct tick function. Did I do that with the timer manager? I know this is a problem that I run into a lot. Pretty good, you did some old project maintenance and figured out loading user file contents into a browser client. Oh, that sounds cool. Yeah, I haven't really ever done much with web development, but it's something on my list to do. Oh yeah, this is definitely wrong. So override. Okay, so I'm glad I caught that. Otherwise, timers would not work. Alright, yeah, so I don't need to mess with any of the other logic in here, thankfully. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, well this, Okay, I was gonna say this doesn't have a tick function, but it does subscribe to some events, so we'll need to parent or inherit from that class. And yeah, I'll just regenerate the constructor, save myself a little typing. That's my project for today. Yeah, I'm also going through and updating some older code. I decided to switch to a better event system, so and I had wanted to add some functionality to the core game, so just while I'm doing that, I'm also updating to this better events. Specifically today, I'm working on the animation system. Okay, so yeah, for hero, just listen to all events of this type. And what this class really does is that. Okay, well this actually needs to be. It's kind of strange. Yeah, because this needs to be a function I can call actually. So I kind of wonder if I should put it in a different class. But yeah, all this is good. I think the reason that I had them in the same class is because they both use this get animator. That was true. So yeah, there's still some things in here I need to update. So I need to be able to get an audio source property, an audio mixer property, and then check for an animator error. This mostly is just if a specific animator type. Okay, well, the way it works in Unity is there's an animation class. I can actually, I have some set up, although see if I can find it. Yeah, here. So we have a bunch of these parameters in the animation, and they can be different types. Like you can have a number type, or sorry, it's float, or integer, or just a boolean. But there's no easy way to really get a list of them. So yeah, what I have to do here is, well, I mean, there's no like function that you can just call animator is correct type or something. So I have to do some logic to find any errors. Let's see. Yeah, I think I will separate this into a different class. Let's call it, well, I already have this animator helper. Could I just use the same thing? Oh no, this won't help because it's static. I don't. Yeah, so this map link is what's going to need to call this function. I don't really want it to have to find the animator itself. Okay, let's see. Animator. What do I call it? Property check. That's fine, I guess. Okay, so this will just be like a helper class. It's not going to need to do anything with events. But I will need the map object registry. That's how we'll get certain... that's how we'll get the animators, objects themselves. It's not helping me out there. So I want to move this class into here. And this also. So excuse me, anything that wants to check any of these things can just get a handle on this class. It's specifically. Sorry, my throat's getting dry. All right. So yeah, this class will now just only handle setting values. So I guess, yeah, this doesn't even need this list anymore, really. Let's call it helper, I guess. Oh, right, I forgot to set the right namespace. Or did I? What's it complaining about? Oh. A period there. Yeah, so now we can just call helper, get animator. And we're good. Okay. Let's go ahead and finish updating all these UX classes while I'm down here. That one is new. That's just another helper class. Okay, so this... So I don't need that anymore. This is just another, I think, logic class. It needs the game data and that's it. Okay, so make this public. And wasn't it mixer ID and the audio mixer property type and then string name? Okay, so the confusing thing about these audio mixers, well, I guess there's nothing here, but yeah, again, Unity doesn't really help that much with querying properties of these audio mixers. But I think this works okay. Yeah, because that's what this does. I have to try and find a specific audio group, and so you kind of have to loop through them all. Okay, so this is what actually sets it. And why do I have a timer? Oh, for the snapshot. Okay, so yeah, audio mixers have snapshots where you can kind of smoothly blend between two. Well, I usually do it with volumes, but you can also do it with audio filters and things like that. And I guess to support that, I added a timer in there. I do like that, so... But we'll need... Because we have a timer, we'll need to get the playing animations class so we can release the wait handle. Okay. But there's nothing really interesting here. Oops. Forgot to type this. I guess I got sidetracked. Not that difficult to do to me, honestly. Alright, so yeah, we need to send the event queue up to the parent class. Like normal. Oh yeah, and I forgot the S on the end of events, so yeah, event is a keyword in C#, so the compiler was getting confused there. Okay, so the only other thing I need to change here is just call playing release instead of using that event. And I've already updated this one. Okay, so this should be pretty simple. It's kind of like what I just did. I don't really support right now waiting until a sound is finished running because it'd be a little confusing what to do with looping and things, and Unity actually doesn't even have a good way to listen for that. So, but I guess if I ever wanted to, I found it's always better just to use a timer, so okay, that was easy. Okay, so this class handles moving object. And I don't think I'll have to change much here either. Although, one thing I did forget is this: I actually need to subscribe to the event. Oh, so okay, I forgot about that. This command event. Otherwise, nothing would actually be able to call this. Oh, right. Events, and then the set property. I don't know what I was thinking. Did I forget to do this for something else? So the property setter and inspector. Oh, I did forget to do it here. Add new all event listener. That property. Okay, and then yeah, this is inspector. Okay, I did remember to do it there. So event queue, events, and I'll send that up to the parent class. Although it looks like I don't actually inherit from anything yet. Inherit, I mean. Alright, so I don't set that. All event listener, movement command. Okay, so that's a little bit of a misnomer because I think it actually handles arc movement as well. And not just completely linear, but okay, so the other thing I need, which I forgot to get a handle on yet, is the playing animations. It's because we have callbacks for when this movement ends. So I do need to signal down here. Oops. Before I forget. Oh. Thought I copied that. Okay, so yeah, this is just... Oh, right, so there's actually two waiting... I don't know what they call it, wait handles for this. There's one when the movement is complete, and then one when we reach the top of an arc. So, but we can handle both of them pretty easily. Please. Alright. So this I've already updated. It just sets a monster's position directly with no animation. Okay, so this one is pretty much the same as what I just did, except for rotation. So hopefully it will be pretty simple. I know I'll need the playing animations, so I forgot to put the private tag on it. Okay, I want to try to finish this before I stop streaming today, so I think I'll probably go a couple more minutes, or a little more than a couple, but right, and then we need the event queue. And now I just need to subscribe to this register function. Do all events, listener, rotation, command. Okay, so the only other thing I need to do, I need to delete this. Okay, yeah, that was a bit oversight, but no big deal. So playing dot release wait handle. Okay. This, yeah, I already updated it, just sets a rotation, and then okay, so I got a bit more. This class, so in Unity's animations, you can actually set a signal to happen at some point during the animation, and so that's what this class does. It's going to wait until it receives that from Unity. It's a little more complicated than that just because I had to get it working with mods as well. Okay, so nothing interesting there. Oh, here, I probably forgot to... Oh no, I didn't. I did create that class. I usually forget to instantiate lists, so I didn't trust myself. Alright, and then I need to get the event queue again. And subscribe to the event. Oh, I just remembered something I need to fix on the others as well. Okay. Yeah, so here, it's again, this tick is going to cause problems. It's got to be public, override, and then Unity engine, time.delta time. Oh, one other thing I have to do, also I need to call the base classes tick function. Otherwise we wouldn't be, happened there? We wouldn't get any notifications based on events. Okay, does anything else have a tick function? I don't think so. Oh, this one does. Oh yeah, for the timer. Okay, so public override void tick. That doesn't. This one does not. Okay, so I think we're all good. Go back to the signal watcher. Alright, so I did that. Okay, this has a tick as well. Yeah, because we basically have to check every frame to see if the signal has been received. Oh yeah, and so I think... Oh no, this is fine. So yeah, what this is doing, at first it checks every signal that we're waiting for and then clears any received signals that we didn't care about. So I just need to call playing dot release. I can type it. Alright, and so the last one is the sound effect player. And okay, it has a tick too, so I'll need to remember to update that. Alright, so I'll make this constructor real quick. Also, did I... Oh, I did. Yeah, I keep not trusting myself to instantiate these lists, but I've been remembering. I need the event queue, events, and is it complaining that something's... What is it complaining about? Oh no, I need to send the event queue up to the base class. That's what it was complaining about. New all event listener, audio play command. Okay, so what is this actually? Do I actually wait for audio to finish? Okay, I didn't think I did that. Okay. Oh, that's right. I only do it if the audio is not set to loop. That was one thing, because yeah, if it's looping, yeah, if it's not looping, we do this current. So I think I did something that if the audio is looping, that I don't assign a wait handle or something like that, and so it was a little different depending on if audio was looping or not, and I was worried that that could cause an issue down the line, but I think it's okay right now. Alright, so yeah, we've updated all these classes. So what I want to do now real quick before the stream ends is go and create the classes that these objects all need, just so I can kind of remember. Okay, so context, interface, I have the stored animation sequence. Okay, and then the animation script manager, but I forget. Up here. This action logger I need to add too. Okay, so it needs the action logger, so the action logger should go before it. And yeah, the script actions to do. Oh, I already did that, so I didn't do the action logger. Okay, but what I was checking is Does this need to be a flow logic container? Because I don't think it uses the events. Oh yes, it does. It does queue events down here actually. But it doesn't tick. Yeah, because it doesn't have an update or anything like that. So, well, I guess it doesn't really matter. Context, resolve, interface, animations, script, manager, then Flua, interface, action, logger. Okay, and so the Lua container, I also need to add in that animations class. Oh, the actions logger is here. That's probably better actually. Yeah, because the script manager doesn't need the action logger, but the action logger needs it. So that's fine. Okay, so that's all for that. And then the play phase, I need to add a bunch of stuff. Or rather on the map. Oh, where is it? Okay, so I already have this. And the stored animations are up in the game itself, right? Yeah. Oops, I got rid of it. Okay, so let me see. Some of this stuff, I guess I'll just go down the line and figure out. UX dot animations, animation complete. Oh, why is it not showing up? Probably because it's not public, but something's going to complain to me if I make it public. Something's weird with that namespace. It wants me to type out the whole thing for some reason. Which is kind of annoying. I don't really know why. Okay, well anyway, that's fine. Okay, so the param setter, I think I can do this. Okay, what's going on here? Oh, what is going on? Did I mistype something? So this one's fine just being UX. Oh, it's... Okay. I see, it's missing a dot there. That's annoying. Okay, well, yeah, I want to fix this up because I don't want to... I need to go, but I don't really want to forget what I'm doing over the weekend, so let's see if I can clean this up. Tactical lizard, Tamer. Yeah, so something weird happened with namespaces here. Okay, actually what I'm going to do is Control F, and if I ever see this anywhere in the entire solution, I want to replace it with a version with a dot, because yes, replace all. Okay, I must have done a bad search and replace some other time. Okay, so now I can get rid of this stuff. Okay. RAM setter. And the animator helper. No, that's not, doesn't need to be added here. The property checker does, but it doesn't need to be ticked, so I can just text, resolve, and bind. UX dot animations, property checker. Group matcher, no. So this property inspector, things can use it, so I should put it up here. Context. Okay, and yeah, it doesn't need. Yeah, it doesn't. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Yeah, it doesn't need to be added to the ticking list. I can do the same thing with the audio mixer, I guess. Anyway, where was I? Prem setter. Property inspector, so audio properties setter. The linear mover. Okay, the positioner I already did. Yeah, up there. Rotation animator. Rotation setter I already did. Signal watcher. And the sound effect player. Wasn't there one thing? Oh yeah, it was the timers that had their own, which I haven't added those yet, so. Okay, so this is not in the UX, it's just animations. Timer manager. Timers, okay. That was the only one. So this commander I can get rid of, but this animation map link. Okay, it does have flow logic, but oh yeah, because it needs to be disposed, so that's fine. Commands, nothing there. Playing animations needs to go up here, actually. Oh wait, did I think I already did that. Okay, maybe not. Yeah, so it can just go in here because it doesn't need to be in the entire game, so that's fine. Resolve and bind animations. Okay. Oh, I was thinking of the stored animation list, and that's in the top context for the entire game. Yeah. Okay, so I think I've gotten everything. Probably can't test it because yeah, we've got more errors. But yeah, so I guess I better stop now because I've gone almost 15 minutes over. But I started to leave on kind of a cliffhanger. We'll see if all this works on Monday. And yeah, from there, what's next? So I guess I'll need to make sure that this whole script can run and maybe test a couple other animation things since I've kind of rewritten some of it, specifically on the onload function. Oh, where is that? on new turn. Like I used to have this kind of animation thing. Maybe I'll add this back in just to test some of it. In fact, I think I might just uncomment. That's what this is doing. Yeah, so first it moves the monsters and does some timers. Yeah, this is really good. And then I test some audio by setting mixer groups, and then I play some noise and transition between snapshots. So yeah, I'll leave this open to test it outside of animation logging because that's always a little different. And then we'll want to test the actual jump command or jump animations. And so after that, we'll just have to do some net code to communicate the actions between all the clients. And we'll have just, oh yeah, we have like the end of turn things checking if a monster is dead or not. And then I think we'll finally be caught up to where I was before. And so maybe I'll move back to terrain. I don't know. I'm kind of sick of working on the terrain. It's really, I don't know. I mean, it looks good, but there's some like edge cases. I'm not sure how to get it to work. So I don't know. I need to think about that more. But anyway, stop talking and move on. So thanks everybody for coming by today. I really appreciate it. I'll be live again Monday at noon Eastern. Feel free to follow me here on Twitch or on my Twitter to be notified when I come live. And I also have a YouTube channel where I upload all past streams if you're interested in that, and a Discord server where you can chat with me. I'd love to have you there. But I'll put links in chat, or you can check out the video description if you're watching on YouTube. And I think that's it for me. So yeah, I'm gonna go get a bite to eat, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.